Okay, so where we left off was hopefully that you have gone through and allocated each of the questions in the NAPLAN Year 3 demo to either Group A, which is numeracy areas of data, space, geometry and measurement, or numeracy area B, which is number, patterns and algebra. Okay, so in theory you should have 35 questions with that occurring. What we will do is we've got to make a class set. So what I'm going to do is take note of the row numbers that we've got. So row 3 is the first student, row 1240 is the last student in this set. Okay, so we've got to get a random set of data. What I'll do is go to site, which is useful. Okay, so if you just do a search for stat trek random number generator, that will come straight up. Okay, it's not very hard to find. Okay, so the details are we will have a class size of 30, so we want 30 numbers to be generated. We will start with the first row that we had a student was in number 3, so we'll run with 3 and 1240 was the last row that the student corresponded with. We don't want to have duplicate entry, so we don't want the same student twice. If we do calculate, that will give us a class set. Well, it will give us some random numbers. It'll give us 30 random numbers that we'll be able to use to generate our class set. Okay, so basically I'm going to ask you to do this. I will just start and do the first couple, just so that you can see. So the first number is 1128 for our 30 random numbers. Okay, so what we will have to do is go down to 1120 to identify that student. Okay, so what we'll do is it's a case of just selecting across when you've got shift held right across to make sure that we get all of the 35 questions. Okay, we'll right click it, copy it, go to a new sheet and we'll paste it. So I'd sort of come in a little bit because I don't think it's good to be just on the edge. We need a few rows and columns empty. Okay, so we're going to paste that there. Okay, so that will be everything for that. We've got to go back to the next number, okay, which is 569. Do the same thing. Okay, so basically we go back to our first page with the 569. Okay, so with 569 again, just use shift and arrow across, right click it, do copy, and go to our sheet, paste it there again, and okay, so that was just 2 students in the space of half a minute. Okay, basically if we run through that, now they are all the questions. What I would suggest is, just to make this useful and clear, we might also go and get the top row, a couple of rows, because we've put the allocations for the exam questions, but also we can just take these. So we'll take all the information, heading columns. Okay, so that's basically the 35 questions. Again, I've started from the very edge, so it's going to be very easy to place it in the right spot. So basically it's going to be a case of there and going across and corresponding with what we have. So, okay, that's the first column. It was actually 2 up, I'll leave a gap, so I'll put it 3 up. We'll paste it, okay, and that's our data set. Then you will just be expected to make that class set with 30. So just remember the students are running across the page. Each question is downwards. Okay, so now that we've got this, it's a lot bigger file. If you're confused about what we have, this is the numeracy section. So numeracy question 1, numeracy question 2, numeracy question 3. Okay, now we really don't need all of these because they're to do with reading, spelling, etc. So what I would suggest is that we would maybe, after this first initial stuff with the bands, we can even just go and right click and do delete, and I would suggest to it delete the entire columns, so that would be the case. Now that's probably better to do that after we have our data set of 30. Okay, so that's what I'd do after we have the class set of 30. You can delete those columns. Okay, I won't do it now. Okay, I think that should get you started. There's more information in the third video that should let you proceed further.